to net zero.
My Lords, it's a great pleasure to follow the noble lady Baroness Scott of Meaden Market, who picked up many of the points that I will seek to expand on, and I also declare my position as Vice President of the LGA and NALG. I'll focus on larger councils as well as town and parish, and there's 129 recommendations to debate here in this hour. I'm going to focus on two of them. First, the recommendation to end the disjointed mess of short-term competitive local authority funding pots. That would, as the Skidmore report says, enable communities to maximise the economic and social benefits of net zero while using resources most effectively. As Professor Tony Travers often points out, local government is a very efficient spender of funds, often more efficient than the central government. So the government needs to sit down with local government and ask them, not tell them, how to achieve net zero targets starting at that local level, and realise that this is the way in which resources can be put to better use. The second point that the Skidmore Review highlights is also a story of localism, that of the importance of the community energy sector, which the report says is neglected by the government, quote, and, quote, is a distilled example of energy security and sovereignty, close quote. Now, in the other place, we've seen the local electricity bill tabled. In your Lordship's House, we have in the energy bill an amendment which I tabled at committee, which will be coming back at report. A huge opportunity, dare I say, an oven-ready plan to unleash community energy, the possibilities for net zero and for local prosperity. It's sitting there, the government simply needs to pick it up. And I note that there's very strong Tory support for it in the other place. But as the noble lady Baroness Scott just said, all of this crosses over very much with the Levelling Up and Regeneration Bill. The Levelling Up Fund disaster that we've just seen was hugely wasteful. Yet this is the same model that we see in the Social Housing Decarbonisation Fund, in various schemes for private home energy efficiency, such as the Home Upgrades Grants, and in the Transport Decarbonisation funding. Central government throws out a random pot of money, says bid for this quickly, and local government at all levels has to scramble, and that's just not an efficient model. It's always been a problem with turnarounds on both bidding and spending that drive inefficiencies rather than efficiencies. But it's particularly even more of a problem now, with inflation meaning that, for example, capping rules on spend per house has made it even more difficult to actually spend the allocations, because the cost of installations is going up so fast. Now, we saw in the Levelling Up Fund, only shovel-ready projects were able to bid. So councils had to quickly scrape together ideas and things that were already in the pipeline, rather than planning for the long term, which is what both efficient use of money, delivery of net zero, and indeed just delivery of workable schemes actually demands. What we need is the government allocating money strategically on the basis of need on a long-term basis. This is the case for local government for spending. It's, in terms of community, simply a case of setting people free to do what they are desperate to do. Communities want to get together, find good uses for local money, build local prosperity, supply local energy, and get on with tackling the net zero challenge. 409 principal authority councils have declared a climate emergency. They want to act, communities want to act. What the government has to do, as this review makes clear, is let them.